Here's something most people don't realize. You're forgetting 90% of everything you learn within just 1 week. Not half, 90%. You read an incredible article on Monday, watch a fascinating video on Wednesday, learn something brilliant in a conversation on Friday. By the next week, gone, completely vanished from your working memory. Now imagine if you had a second brain that never forgot anything, a digital memory that captured every article, every research paper, every conversation note, and could instantly find exactly what you need whenever you ask. No searching through scattered files or scrolling through thousands of emails. Just ask, and boom, the right information appears. This is exactly what SuperMemory does. It's an AI-powered personal memory system that just went completely open source and free. And it's about to change how millions of people work, learn, and think. The idea is almost absurdly simple on the surface. Capture what you read, remember it perfectly, retrieve it instantly. But the technology powering it is genuinely sophisticated. It's using semantic AI, the same breakthrough that's revolutionizing how search engines and language models actually understand what you're asking. This is the tool that bridges the gap between your human brain's limitations and AI's infinite recall. And here's what makes it revolutionary. It's not some lockdown corporate product. The code is open. Anyone can use it. Anyone can improve it. Anyone can build on it. So today, we are breaking down exactly what SuperMemory is, how it actually works, and whether this is the productivity breakthrough you've been waiting for. Let's be honest, your brain is amazing at some things and absolutely terrible at others. It's fantastic at recognizing faces, making creative leaps and sensing danger, but remembering specific facts, retrieving details from 3 months ago, that's where your brain completely fails you. Scientists call this the forgetting curve. If you read something new right now, you'll forget 50% of it by tomorrow. By next week, you've lost 70%. By next month, you're lucky if you remember it was about something vaguely related to technology. This isn't a personal failure, it's just how biology works. Your brain has limited storage capacity, and it prioritizes survival information over random facts, which made perfect sense for a hunter-gatherer, makes zero sense for a knowledge worker in 2026. Now add the modern problem on top of that. You're not reading one article per week. You're reading 20. You're not watching one YouTube video. You're drowning in content. You've got Slack messages, Discord channels, Reddit feeds, newsletters stacked up like a fire hazard. Your brain literally cannot keep up. Traditional solutions didn't work because they're all designed by humans. You've got notes apps that require you to manually organize everything. You've got folders within folders that you forget exist. You've got search that only works if you remember the exact words you used when you saved something. And you've got that sinking feeling every single day. I know I read about this. I know someone told me this. But where is it? SuperMemory solves this by being smarter than human file organization. It doesn't require you to remember. It doesn't require you to tag things perfectly. It just captures everything and remembers it forever. Here's where the magic happens. SuperMemory doesn't just save text like a dumb clipboard. It uses something called semantic embeddings. Now that sounds technical, but here's the simple version. Imagine describing a restaurant. You could say Italian pasta, placed downtown, or red check tablecloths, or made their own noodles from scratch. A normal search engine would need you to use exactly those words. SuperMemory understands that all three descriptions mean the same thing. It converts each piece of information into a mathematical pattern, a high-dimensional vector, that captures the actual meaning. When you search for where was that Italian place that makes fresh pasta, it recognizes that your question is conceptually similar to something you saved 3 months ago, even if you used completely different words. This is the same technology powering tools like ChatGPT and Google's latest search. It's been revolutionary for those systems because meaning matters way more than exact keyword matching. The process works like this. When you save an article, a PDF, a video transcript, or even a voice note, SuperMemory breaks it into chunks. Each chunk gets converted into a semantic embedding, basically a unique fingerprint of its meaning. These fingerprints get stored in something called a vector database. When you search, your question also gets converted into a semantic embedding. The system then finds all the saved information with the most similar fingerprints. It's like having the world's most intelligent librarian who understands context and meaning instead of just alphabetical filing. And because it's open source now, developers can plug in better AI models, make the search faster, add new data sources. The real power emerges when you realize this can work offline on your own machine. Your memories stay private. No cloud, no data brokers, just pure personal AI. Let me show you how this works in the real world. Imagine you're a software engineer who read an obscure Stack Overflow thread about database optimization 6 months ago. You didn't bookmark it, you didn't take notes, you just read it and moved on. Now you're facing a performance problem and you think, wait, I read something about this. With SuperMemory, you open the app and type something like, that thing about making queries faster by batching results. Instantly, it finds that exact Stack Overflow thread. You didn't need to remember the search keywords. You didn't need to remember where you saved it. You described the concept and it found it. Here's another example. You're a researcher preparing for presentation. You've read 40 papers on AI safety over the past 6 months. They're scattered everywhere, some in your files, some you just read in a browser and forgot about. You tell SuperMemory, show me everything about regulatory risks and large language models. Boom, it surfaces 17 relevant papers, highlights, and quotes you've collected, organized by theme. It's not just retrieving documents, it's intelligent retrieval. Now here's the wild part, it works across different file types. An article you read online, a PDF you downloaded, a YouTube video transcript you pasted in, a voice note you recorded walking down the street. SuperMemory treats them all the same. It understands that they are all information you want to remember. And the interface is laughably simple. It's not trying to be clever. You save something, you search for something, you find it. That's it. No complicated tags, no folder hierarchies, no where did I put that thing panic at 3 in the morning. Now you might be thinking, isn't this just like Evernote or OneNote or that $1,000 tool I bought last year that promised to change my life? Not exactly. Let's break down the difference. Evernote and OneNote are powerful, but they are dumb. They search by text matching. You have to perfectly tag everything or you'll never find it again. They don't understand meaning. SuperMemory uses AI to understand what your information actually means. Traditional tools also require you to be the librarian. You decide where things go. You decide what tags to add. You spend 30% of your time organizing and 20% actually using the information. SuperMemory flips that. It organizes automatically based on semantic meaning. You spend your time actually retrieving and using what you've learned. Then there's the privacy angle. Most cloud-based memory tools store your data on someone else's servers. Google sees what you're researching. Microsoft knows what you're reading. Notion stores every thought you've ever typed. SuperMemory can run entirely locally on your machine. Your memories never leave your computer. That's a massive deal if you care about privacy, and in 2026 you should. There's also Obsidian and Rome Research, which are great for personal knowledge graphs, but they require you to manually link ideas together. You have to work. SuperMemory does that automatically based on semantic similarity. Then there's the cost factor. Premium personal knowledge tools can run from $15 to $30 per month. SuperMemory is open source. It's free. You can run it on your own hardware and never pay anyone anything. It's not dramatically more powerful than everything else. But it's the first one that combines artificial intelligence, open source freedom, privacy, simplicity, and zero cost. Let's think bigger for a moment. What does a world look like where everyone has perfect recall of everything they've learned, where forgetting becomes optional instead of inevitable, where the limiting factor for your career isn't your brain's capacity, but your actual creativity and judgment? Right now, knowledge workers spend a shocking amount of time rediscovering things they already learned. You find an article useful. You forget about it. 3 months later, you waste 2 hours searching for something similar you read. Multiply that across millions of people. That's trillions of hours of lost productivity every single year. SuperMemory starts to solve that. But there's something bigger happening here. If you can remember everything you've ever learned, you become a different kind of thinker. You can make more sophisticated connections. You can spot patterns that people with normal human memory can't see. You can combine ideas from different fields in ways that lead to genuine innovation. This is actually how genius works, not by having a bigger brain, but by making better connections between ideas you've stored. Now think about education. Students study for exams by trying to cram information into their brains. What if instead they used SuperMemory to capture everything they learn, and exams tested their ability to think and synthesize, not their ability to memorize? Everything changes, and because SuperMemory is open source, anyone can improve it. Universities can integrate it into their learning management systems. Companies can build it into their internal knowledge systems. Developers can train it on domain-specific information. A researcher can build a version specifically for medical literature. A lawyer can build one specifically for legal precedents. The potential is genuinely boundless. There's a catch, though. If everyone has a perfect memory, everything becomes searchable and retrievable. That raises privacy questions. What if employers demand access to your memory? What if governments want to search your personal knowledge archive? These aren't problems yet, but they will be. Okay, so how do you actually use SuperMemory? It's refreshingly straightforward. First, you get the code from GitHub. SuperMemory is built on modern web technology, so you can run it locally on your machine or deploy it to a server. The basic setup takes about 5 minutes if you're comfortable with the command line. You clone the repository, install the dependencies, and run it. It opens in your web browser. From there, you've got a few ways to add information. You can paste in text directly. You can upload PDFs and it'll extract the text automatically. You can paste in the URL of an article and it'll fetch and save the content. You can drop in video transcripts. Some people even paste in Slack message threads they want to remember. Everything gets processed by the Semantic AI engine and stored in your personal memory database. Then you search. Just type what you're looking for in conversational English. That article about why transformers are better than RNNs, or the research paper about prompt injection attacks, or that time someone explained how to debug Docker containers. SuperMemory finds it. You can also browse by recent editions, see what you've saved this week, that kind of thing. The interface is clean and fast because it's running on your machine, not syncing across cloud servers. One important thing, you don't need to be a programmer to use it. The core functionality is simple, but if you are a programmer, you can extend it. You can integrate it with your other tools. You can add custom data sources. You can train custom AI models on your specific knowledge. The learning curve is basically non-existent for basic usage. Advanced users can spend months building on top of it. Here's what you need to understand. SuperMemory isn't just a note-taking app. It's the first genuinely useful implementation of personal AI that actually solves a real problem in your life today. Most AI hype is theoretical. Imagine what could be possible. SuperMemory is here. It's working. You can use it tonight if you want. The gap between human memory and AI memory has just become bridgeable, and that's going to reshape how people work, learn, and build careers. People who use tools like this will have a genuine advantage. They'll remember more, make better connections, spot patterns faster. In competitive fields like research, engineering, and knowledge work, that edge is going to matter. The other thing that matters is that it's open source. That means it's not controlled by a company that might suddenly change its pricing or shut it down. It's not controlled by an algorithm optimized to keep you engaged. It's just a tool, built by people who care about making personal AI better, available for everyone to use and improve. If you're drowning in information, if you feel like you're constantly rediscovering things you already learned, if you've ever been frustrated by your brain's refusal to remember something you know you learned, this is worth 20 minutes of your time to try. Head to GitHub, search for SuperMemory, and set it up. Start capturing what you read. See what your life looks like when you stop forgetting. You can follow us for more breakdowns of AI tools that actually change how you work. This is Riff, signing off.